welcome back. This is TESOL 2020. I'm Amy Sweezy, and I have a very special PhD student here with me now, Xiaomeng Li, who is the recipient of an award. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You won the Ruth Crimes TESOL Fellowship for Graduate Study. So tell me a little bit, tell all of us who are watching online, a little bit about this project that you did to win the award.
Yeah, actually I work on second language reading research. Like we know most people in this world read, and we also live in this multilingual society in which a lot of people are use their non-native language to read in their school and also in their work. So basically being able to promote their literacy skills will definitely help them to assess their academic and job opportunities. So this central questions in my work is like how second language readers read and how can we best promote their second language literacy skills. And to address those two questions, I think the first step is to understand what has happening during this second language reading processing, like how our human brain processes the written information in a second language, how that might be different from first language reading. So yeah, and to do so, in this project, I examined a couple of factors. Like the first one is the reader's past reading experiences. Like we know, like how the people reading their first language, and this kind of experience shapes how they read in a new language. And also I look at their cognitive skills and their linguistic knowledge in their second language. I want to look at how those factors interact with each other and jointly shape their second language reading behavior. So in this way, I think it's important in this regard because like it can help not only the learners but also the teachers, the policymakers to understand like how second language learners read and where the source of learning difficulties come from for them, so we can make more useful and informative decisions about how can we best promote literacy for a better life. Yeah, so this is just basic snapshot of my this project.
And I know you're still in the middle of the research.
Yeah,
You've been published once already, but you still are.
Yeah, one small scale from this project has been published in Reading and Writing just the last month. I'm pretty happy about that.
Yay.
Yeah, but I'm still working on it. Hopefully it will be finished by the end of this year.
Okay, so I don't know if you can speak to this yet because maybe it's something that you're still figuring out, but are you finding then that the challenges that someone had in their first language is the same challenge in the second language, or are they different?
I'm glad that you brought that up. Actually, it's yes and no. Like, it actually depends on what their first and second languages are. So if they are really something like pretty similar, like if that's French and English, for instance, they probably will face very similar difficulties and challenges in both their first and second language reading.
Okay.
However, in my case, I look at the Chinese native speakers who learn to read English. Like Chinese and English are very, very different from each other. Therefore, what they have encountered in Chinese may not automatically transfer into their English reading. So that's kind of like we call that language specific and language universal. Like what is something that is universally applying to all the learners of all the languages, and something that is specific for certain languages.
Okay.
So that's, yeah.
Like whether you have letters or
characters,
and
yeah, they are different. The mapping principles are different.
Right.
Like in English, it is this letter B represents this phoneme B, but in Chinese, it's a different story. So the character represents a phoneme, which is a meaningful unit. It's not phonology, it's not sound, it's just a meaning unit. So that's quite different challenges.
And how have you gotten this research? Do you actually have a subject who reads something and then answers questions, or how are you doing the research?
Most of the time I do online behavioral experiment.
Okay.
So for instance, I will assess their phonological processing. In that case, I will give them English real words and pseudo words, and also Chinese words. Ask my participant to read that aloud and to process this information. And also, yeah, another case which I examine their orthographic processing, like their understanding of the print. I will just give them like some real words and some pseudo words, and ask them to decide whether this is a real word based on your understanding of the writing systems, and they need to respond by pressing the buttons on their keyboard. So that's kind of like an online behavioral experiment.
Okay.
In this way, I measure their reaction time and their accuracy.
Okay, well, and so complex because every person learns differently, and eyes and brain and mouth, and all working together.
Yeah, I think one important lesson that I actually learned from doing this project is that the understanding the learners are not a simplistic unit. They are not just the same people. They just have their own linguistic, cognitive, and intellectual repertoire, and they are doing different stuff. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, kudos to you. Congratulations on the award. I understand why you won it.
Thank you very, very much.
So where do you study? Where are you taking classes now, and what's your...
Yeah, I'm actually a fourth-year PhD student in the Department of Modern Languages at the Carnegie Mellon University.
Right here.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a local for this convention. Yeah, so yeah, I'm actually in the fourth year, so basically no coursework anymore, just working on my dissertation, hoping to get it finished, to get it done as soon as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how were you excited to find out that TESOL was going to be in Pittsburgh this year?
Exactly. It's really, great because it's in Pittsburgh. Like not only a lot of members in my department come to TESOL, but also like a lot of old alumni will just come back to Pittsburgh. For them, it's come back home, and so I meet a lot of old friends and I make a lot of new friends. So that's really exciting.
Nice. So why do you love being part of TESOL? Do you feel like it's beneficial for you as a student and will be in your career?
Exactly. Actually, I think for me there are two key words about TESOL: so connecting and sharing. Because I am almost there to finish the project, finish the PhD program, and go into the job market. So like for me, I really need to make this connection with the whole field. So I want to really connect with the doctoral and graduate students at TESOL. So we are kind of like peers. We know what they were doing, and we can talk to each other and have this support community. I feel like especially after COVID, like most of the time I'm just doing stuff online. So it's just like, well, kind of isolated. Like even, especially like COVID kind of make things worse, but if without COVID, like a doctoral program is a very long and not very easy journey.
Right.
But I feel like this connection building between me and other graduate students is really, really helps me to feel like the life is easier, and also connecting with other professors and researchers in the field to get this network, to know the cutting edge research, and also get inspirations, get feedback, and get advice from those people, and let them to see me. So both of them are quite important things that I really gained a lot from just participating in TESOL. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Connecting and sharing.
Yes, connecting and sharing.
I love it. All right. Xiaomeng Li, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations again on your award. Enjoy the rest of TESOL 2022.
I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the sessions. Thank you, Amy.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Thank you.